Alright, this is going to be entry 11, I think, in my video journal. It is September 16th, and this is kind of an update to my last video that I titled Insomnia. Yeah, I did actually manage to sleep last night, but I think that's only because I did actually give in and finally smoke some weed, so I could actually sleep. It had been 4 days without sleep, and I was starting to shut down. Like, if you ever gone that long without sleep, which I never had before, that's really rough. So, yeah, I finally last night just smoked some weed, and then I managed to get like 6 hours of sleep. So that was definitely that definitely helped. I'm still feeling pretty like groggy and out of it today, just because. I mean, 4 days of no sleep and then 6 hours of sleep, that's not going to quite cut it, but it's definitely better than nothing. And yeah, as far as the other side effects go from the Zoloft, my I did end up taking my dose. I had gone up to 50, and that's what triggered my insomnia. Um, and I did go back down to 25 now. So yesterday I took 25. That was the first day back down to 25. And yeah, I think I'm gonna try staying at 25 for a while, because I was looking at other people's like reports, like their experiences with Zoloft, and a lot of them were saying that um, like they just take 25 a day and have been doing so for years, and a lot of people were saying that. So I'm thinking I maybe don't need to go up, because my doctor had, when I originally was on Zoloft, my doctor like he was pretty much just ramping me up as much as possible. I'm not sure why, because when I was on 50, I went, like, I had an appointment with him and I told him I feel fine, and he's like, okay, cool, we're gonna bump you up to 100, to double your dose. And I was just kind of like whatever, like, you're the expert, like, I'll just take your word for it. And yeah, it went very poorly. So yeah, I'm gonna see if maybe I can just stay at 25 and just keep tabs on how my anxiety goes. Um, yeah, it's kind of hard to gauge how my anxiety is right now, just because how sleep deprived I am still. It's not going to be accurate. If I am feeling anxious now, it could easily just be from the sleep deprivation. So I'm not sure. And my lighting is so bad. I was trying to set up better lighting before this recording, but it's just not good. I want to somehow get my quality a little bit better in these videos. But yeah, definitely feeling better than I was. My thoughts are still a little bit like all over the place, and like not like racing, but just like it's like hard to focus on anything. So yeah, I'm not sure what that is from, either the medication or the sleep deprivation, or a combination of both, most likely. The lighting seems to be best right back here, so I'll just stay here. um, yeah, other side effects. The main issue I was having, other than the sleep insomnia, was like really bad acid reflux. Like, my stomach just always felt like it was on fire, and it was just constantly like gurgling and just making terrible noises and just like burning. Um, that went away yesterday. Yesterday was the first day where I didn't have that, which is oddly enough also the same day I smoked weed to help me sleep. So I'm not sure if that kind of fixed the acid reflux or something, because I also today I feel fine as well, and I haven't smoked any weed today. So yeah, hopefully that stays away, especially now since I'm going back down to 25. Yeah. I did feel a little bit of anxiety earlier today, maybe about an hour ago. I There's an old friend of mine that I'd messaged like a couple weeks ago. I hadn't talked to her in years, and I messaged her a few weeks ago, and I completely forgot that I had messaged her because all this was going on. And then I checked my messages finally today after a couple of weeks and saw that she had replied. And just because I hadn't talked to her in so long, I guess I did start to feel like some waves of like anxiety coming up. Um, but yeah, I just went and quickly like worked out a little bit and like paced around kinda, and the anxiety went away. Working out definitely helps. Like if I feel anxiety coming up and I have like some dumbbells sitting right there, I'll just grab them and just start just pumping some iron, and it definitely helps. Like it's almost instant anxiety relief, which is very odd how that works. I do actually vaguely remember hearing once why that is. Yeah, I forget now why that is, but there is a reason for it, and it is a thing. It's getting kind of warm. Take my hoodie off, but yeah, I didn't make any notes for this video, so I don't really have much specific to talk about. I just kind of wanted to give a general update as to where I'm at. Yeah, I'm feeling not too bad. I still not feeling 100%, that's for sure. My energy is still very low. I'm still feeling really like groggy and out of it. And another thing that I noticed is after I went up to 50 milligrams, my jaw started clenching. Like when you like, if you've ever done like any kind of like stimulants or anything, they tend to make your jaw like clench up a lot, and you grind your teeth and stuff. And when I went up to 50 milligrams, my jaw started doing that, and my jaw's been clenching for like, yeah, 3 4 days now, and the whole side of my face, like up to from my temples up here all the way down to cheekbones here, and then down into my jaw, like this, whatever these jaw muscles are in the back here, it all just hurts. Like nothing I do, like I've taken some I took a leave before. Aleve is like the only painkiller I take, and it's like one of the least harmful for your like liver and stuff. And yeah, I took some Aleve, and it doesn't seem to be doing anything. It's just keeping the headaches away, because when the so much tension like in the side of my face from clenching my jaw so much, it wants to give me headaches. So yeah, at least I'm not getting headaches, but it still just hurts. I'm hoping that goes away now that I went back down to 25. And there's a lot of red and black going on here. I'm noticing my chair, my shirt. And in case you were wondering, yes, this is just a pillow that I duct taped to the back of my gaming chair. Because when I bought this gaming chair, it said that it came with a pillow, that you're like, they normally come with like a pillow with like an elastic strap to put here, and it just never came. Like it wasn't in the box. So I just took matters into my own hands and taped a pillow to my chair. And then I also use this memory foam pillow. You can see it's like curved to like shape to my back because it's memory foam, so it like holds its shape. And yeah, I use that for like lumbar support on my back, because gaming chairs are about the worst possible chair for your back and your entire body, really. In hindsight, like I bought this thing many years ago. This is an old chair. This is actually my original chair that I had. I think I bought this thing when I was like 19 or 20. So yeah, it's like a 6 7 year old chair. In hindsight, I would never get a gaming chair again. I would get like a proper office chair, like an expensive one with like adjustable lumbar support and all of that. A cheap office chair will ruin your life. Like you can do a lot of damage to yourself, like permanently, with a bad chair. So yeah, get a good chair. I don't even know why I went into that tangent or how I got there. Yeah, this video really doesn't have a point. I just kind of wanted to ramble for a bit, I guess. I do have a bit of a project I've been working on that I'm going to be uploading to my channel at some point in the future. It's going to take a little while. It depends how much work I want to put into it, but it's probably going to end up taking a little bit. And it's completely unrelated to anything mental health or like funny compilation. It's nothing to do with that. It's like a bit of a more serious. Uh, it's not really like serious. It's about like I found these things on Google Earth many years ago now. It's probably like 8 or 9 years ago. I was just going around Google Earth looking for like hiking trails and like good hiking spots and camping spots and stuff like that. I got like some crap in my throat. And yeah, I was on Google Earth looking at all this, and I started finding all these lakes all around the prairies. Like it's mostly in Saskatchewan and Manitoba, but it goes all the way down like into North Dakota, South Dakota, over into Minnesota, and then yeah, and then it's like a band. It stretches all the way from I'm gonna have to do this like mirrored here, all the way from British Columbia up here, down at an angle across Saskatchewan, across southern Manitoba, and then down into North Dakota, down into South Dakota, and then over into Minnesota as well. And they're like these lakes that have these islands in them that are all the same size. They're all 160 feet long by 90 feet wide. They're all the exact same size and shape. Actually, not all. There's a few odd. Like, there's thousands of these things, and there's a few that are like really big. And some like, but those ones are typically much farther north. There's one site I found in like northern Manitoba, like up. It's kind of up, kind of level by Thompson, if you know where that is. It's way up there, and yeah, that one has a one of these things that's like 700 feet long. It's a huge, clearly man-made island in a lake, or kind of like in a marsh. Most of them are either in like full-on lakes or just kind of like swampy areas. Because all the ones that I'm assuming, because what I think these things are some kind of Native American, like man-made islands or something. Because they did used to do that. At least like some of the Native American tribes used to make these artificial islands. I'm not exactly sure what the purpose was of them. I don't know if anyone really knows, but yeah, I mapped out, like I used to have a Google Earth save. I had thousands of these things mapped out. I'd spent years just like cataloging all these sites, and I'd go out to them physically, like in real life, like in person. And I have a canoe, so I'd go out onto these lakes and like canoe out to these islands and check them out. And yeah, they're very clearly man-made. The islands are they're made up of like they have like a buildup of like rocks about this size, and yeah, it's just a whole bunch of like softball size rocks that make up the base of these islands. Then on top, they've had a bunch of like soil added on top to like I don't know why, to make it habitable, I guess. I'm not sure, but yeah, each one is big enough for like a small family maybe to live on. 160 feet by 90 feet. That's almost like a lot in a town. Like this kind of almost the size of like my yard. So yeah, maybe they were something like that. I don't know. But they're clearly man-made structures. There are thousands of them all across the prairies, and I have found absolutely zero documentation of the existence of these things. Actually, that's not true. There's one YouTube video I found. I believe the video was called Megalithic Structures of Canada or something like along those lines. And yeah, search that video if you're interested in the subject, Megalithic Structures of Canada. And you scroll down to the comments, you see that I have commented a fair amount in the video. And yeah, I explained in the comments there that I had all these things cataloged in my Google Earth like save file, and then my hard drive decided to commit Sudoku, and so my hard drive just completely fried, and I lost all my everything, including my Google Earth save. So yeah, now that was like a couple of years ago, and now I'm finally started to remap out these things. This morning I spent about 2 hours mapping some of these things out, and yeah, I got maybe not individual islands, but like entire sites, because it'll often be like a cluster of small lakes, and each lake will have like a few of these islands in them, or it'll be like one big lake, and the lake has like, or like a big swampy area, and then there'll be like 50 of these islands spread out throughout this like marsh or this big lake. And it's never in deep water. So if it's like a big lake, it'll only be around the edges, that kind of thing. So yeah, at some point, once I finish mapping these things out, or at least get a good chunk of it done, I do want to make a video on it and just put it out there. And maybe if people, because I know how insane it was driving me that I couldn't find any information other than that one mention in one YouTube video about these islands. And because they are very bizarre. If I knew how to work OBS better, I would screen share right now and show you guys on my Google Earth. But yeah, I don't know if I really know how to do that. I can maybe see. Hopefully I don't screw everything up here. Okay, if I do this. No, that doesn't seem to be working. Why isn't this working? I thought all I had to do was click on the window capture thing and then it would show up show my monitor. Huh. That's kind of odd. Why are you not working? Well, maybe I'll mess around with this later. That's gonna bother me now, though. Yeah, later I'll figure that out. But yeah, if you guys have any kind of interest in that, like archaeology and like kind of ancient history kind of stuff, yeah, maybe just drop a comment in the comment section if you want to see these things, and I'll know that people actually would maybe watch the video if I put it out there, because it's completely unrelated to anything else on my channel. So I don't know if my audience would really care about these things. But yeah, I'll put it out there anyway, just for other people like me, that they can find it at least. Yeah, I don't know what else to really talk about in this one. Nothing else has really changed. I talked about my meds and side effects and insomnia and all that. Well, yeah, I think for the insomnia, I think I'll try to stay awake all day today and like not nap. And then see if I can sleep tonight with no weed. Because I do not want to, like, for me, weed is a very, very slippery slope. I'm either, like, I've never successfully been able to casually smoke weed. I'm either not smoking weed at all, or I smoke weed all day, every day. Like, for me, there's no in between. It's kind of, it's the same with anything for me. Like, drinking, like, I can't really casually drink. Either I drink, like, at Christmas, usually. That's the only time I, like, let myself really drink. Because if I buy my own booze and have it in my house, I will drink every single day. Like, I just don't have the self-control when it comes to, like, intoxicating substances. I can't help myself. So, even since I smoked weed yesterday, I've had several, like, cravings already today to smoke more weed. And, I just keep having to like I put my weed downstairs, so I have to like go and walk all the way over there, and that gives me time to talk myself out of it on the walk over there. So yeah, it's just like anyone that tells you weed isn't addictive, they're full of shit. Like it's clearly very addictive, and well, anything that just dumps dopamine into your brain is gonna be addictive. So I don't know how people can even say it's not. They just clearly don't know what they're talking about, or they're in denial. So yeah, don't smoke weed if you don't smoke weed now. If you are going to, be very careful to not just get hooked on it and become, maybe also my addiction is so strong to it because I have been smoking it daily from such a young age. Like I started smoking weed when I was 15 and did it pretty much every day since then. I'm 26 now. So yeah, weed's not great. I mean, it has its uses. Just like last night, I used it to be able to sleep for the first time really in 4 days. So that's a genuine use for it. Or like if you're really struggling with appetite or something, you could have a little bit of weed and it's gonna help your appetite, pain relief, that kind of thing. Although it only helps a certain kind of pain. A lot of people tell themselves they're smoking weed for like their pain, but it's just like but they're still always complaining about the pain, so they always still have it. And it's like they're just telling themselves that they need the weed for the pain, even though it clearly doesn't help. Like for a year, like I have like nerve damage in my from my neck going down into my shoulder here, and like pretty bad nerve damage. And for years, I had just excruciating pain to the point where I was becoming like, um, I think I can say this because my channel's not monetized anyway. You have to be careful on YouTube, like what words you say, because the algorithm will pick it up and then the video will just get nuked. But I'd become almost like suicidal because I was in such chronic, severe pain just all the time. I guess that's what chronic means, but I was just in excruciating pain 24/7. And yeah, I'd become like suicidal from it. And I was just like relying, like I thought I was relying on weed to help the pain because I thought it was helping, but the weed wasn't helping at all. And I thought it was, so like I had convinced myself in my head that the weed was helping the pain, but it wasn't. What did finally fix my shoulder, or not fix it, but make the pain stop, was when I went on keto for like 2 years and I completely cut sugar out of my diet. My my lifelong like excruciating nerve pain that always felt like somebody was like hammering like a red hot spike into my shoulder, like right in the side right here. It was just like it felt like someone was just like ramming just a red hot like nail or something into my shoulder. And finally, when I quit eating sugar, within 2 weeks, pain was gone. And it's come back a couple times since then, but never, like, not nearly to the same degree. So, yeah, if you're having like crazy pain in your body somewhere that's like chronic, there's a pretty good chance that it's inflammation related. And in my experience, the best way to reduce inflammation is to cut sugar out of your diet. And corn, for whatever reason, maybe I have some kind of like autoimmune thing, but corn for me, if I eat like a bag of Doritos or something, like my shoulder will flare up again. So yeah, just like if you are experiencing some kind of chronic health issue, it could very easily be diet related. Because I went and saw all kinds of specialists, like including this guy that stuck these like electrodes like in my nerves in different places, and he'd like run like different amounts of like voltage through my nerves, and he could then tell like where the damage was. Like I was going to that level to try to get this fixed, and nothing ever helped. I even did acupuncture for like a year straight, to which cost a fortune, by the way. Yeah, I did acupuncture for like a year straight because apparently that's supposed to help with nerve damage. It not only did it not help, it made it significantly worse, like in a permanent way. So like they were obviously just doing damage to my nerves and then telling me that, oh no, it'll get better, it'll get better, and they're just trying to milk you for money the whole time. So yeah, acupuncture's a scam, at least for nerve damage. Weed probably isn't really helping with your pain as much as you think it is. Yeah, try dieting. Try doing keto or something. or some kind of just very restrictive diet where you're eating just very minimal types of food, like very basic food that pretty much everyone can eat and process well, like red meat. Pork can be a little iffy. I know for me, if I eat a lot of pork, it screws up my digestive system pretty bad. But yeah, red meat, just basic vegetables, broccoli, spinach, like dark green vegetables. And if you switch to like that and potatoes and like that kind of stuff, if you switch to like those very basic foods for like a month, you're gonna be eating healthy. You'll feel better just from that. Not eating all this processed crap. You're actually eating whole foods. And yeah, then you can, if your chronic health issues start to go away, then it's pretty safe to assume that it was something in your diet that was causing your issues. And then once your issues are more or less resolved, then you can start adding foods back into your diet slowly. Like add like one food a week, and add like I don't know. Let's say you really liked eating. Let's say you had cut bread out of your diet for a whole month because you thought it might be like a gluten thing, and you cut gluten out of your diet. Add gluten back for a week and see if your problems come back. They might or they might not, and then you know that that is what was causing, or at least a part of what was causing your issues. So yeah, that's what's that called again? I think an elimination diet, I believe is what that's called. That's essentially what I did with keto, but I just did it in the form of keto, and I used that as my like base of my elimination diet, just because I wanted to try it. And yeah, that's, I've pretty much talked about like a million random different subjects here. You can probably tell my brain is kind of all over the place today, like it usually is in these videos. But yeah, it was originally going to be about just the insomnia. It was going to be like a 5-minute video, but that didn't happen. Yeah, hopefully I can sleep tonight. I'll maybe try going for like a long walk or something, tire myself out a bit, and yeah, maybe that'll help. And also going back down to 25 milligrams, I think will help a lot with the side effects. But yeah, I think that's gonna work. Oh, I can't even talk. I'm still super out of it. Um, yeah, I don't think I had really anything else to talk about. So I reckon that is where I'm going to, yeah, that's where I'm going to end the video. All right, this has been recording 11. It is September 16th, 2023. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.